Hi, my name is Jason Kre8 and I'm a fellow creator. And I've been working with Tank to try to get the Go Camelot side and the Kre8ors Network a little more organized and help you guys be able to use it more efficiently. And this is still a process. There's a group of us that are all working together. None of us are getting paid at this point. And we're just trying to get it to where when the funding does come in, that we're all ready to hit the ground running. And so there's a few things that I want to kind of explain to you real quick, so that you can get the most out of what we're trying to do right now. The first thing is that at this point there is no funding. Kim is working hard. She's run into a lot of obstacles, as you can imagine. You've all heard the stories, and this is things that have been going on for a really long time. But when the funding does come in, the only organization within our group that's going to get the funding is Create Change. And what's going to happen once that funding becomes available to create change, then Tank is going to start, and his team is going to start reviewing the projects that have been planned and submitted, and start funding those projects. Now, in order to send the funds to a project, that project will need to have set up a trust. And the way that a lot of this is going to work, whether you're a vendor, whether you're a contributor, whether you're a project originator, is that this money is going to change hands within the trust, and that's part of what's going to protect the whole process. And some of that is all still being worked out, but until the funding actually comes in, the trusts really don't have a use for you. So that's where it's all getting organized. Paul has been getting everybody that is ordered to become a trusted member, has that all ready to go once everything is up and running. So really the idea is that if you have become a trusted member, which that's the only way you're seeing this video, is that you are now in the Kre8ors Network. And this Kre8ors Network is where we're trying to not sit around and wait anymore. That's why Tank put this together, was so that we're ready to go when those funds come in. And part of that process is connecting with other contributors, project originators, and seeing who we all can work with. And one of the things that, needs to kind of get separated from the mentality of, say, with the RV or different mentalities, is that this is not meant to be like a lottery where as soon as funding comes in, you're just rich beyond belief and you have a whole bunch of money in your account and you don't have to do anything. The idea is that we all have ways we can contribute, but we don't have to work 16 hours a day for $10 an hour and just barely eke by. We want everybody to be living in abundance. So when the first funding comes in, everybody will get something in order to stabilize their lives. That's part of the situation. You do not have to be a project originator in order to get some funds. However, we do want project originators who know how to implement projects to be the ones that are in charge. So even if you're working for another project, you're still going to get all the money that you need, but what we're not going to have is the way that the system was before, where you have millions and millions of dollars sitting in an account. It's going to be the concept of manna, where you get enough that you need to be in abundance to help the people around you, but then it perpetuates. It comes and it comes and it comes. It keeps coming. You don't have to hoard it. You don't have to hold it. You will accumulate it in your trust to create generational wealth, like we said, but the idea is that you're going to continue to create. It just won't be slavery. And so it'll be stuff that you enjoy. It'll be things you're passionate about. So that's kind of the idea of the Kre8ors Network. And so that's where we need to kind of separate this idea that although you may have a really great idea, you may not be the most qualified to be the one that runs it, okay? And so the Kre8ors Network would be intended for, once you get in there, to go around and look at all of the different projects that are out there. Go to the project group pages, which are listed there, and find people who are working on things that you're working on, or that you're excited about, or you want to work on, and connect with them. Start collaborating, because everybody's got a role, and you're all going to have enough to go around. And it might be like, say, the project originator might get more funds, but the whole reason that they have more funds is so that they can distribute it to the people that they're working with. But no one's going to be living in poverty that is a part of the network that is working on these projects, because that's the idea, is to be abundance. So you just kind of need to separate that connection or attachment to being necessarily in charge, because not everybody can be in charge. There needs to be leaders and there needs to be helpers, and everybody's valuable. So just trying to shift that mentality a little bit. So basically, if you've got somebody that you know that wants to become a part of this movement, they need to go to gocamelot.com, and then they need to sign up. That's the first step for everybody. So once you sign up, you'll get an email that has a link to go become a trusted member, or you can just log right in, and underneath your name there will be My Account. And when you go to My Account, within there will be two different options. If you do not have the money to pay the $100 to become a trusted member and join the Kre8ors Network, you still can apply for project funding. And that's through the project forms that'll be available right there. And you download those forms, you complete them, and you follow the instructions that are on them. But those will go onto a list, because at this point all of us are volunteering and there are costs associated with the trust and the planning process. And so if you can afford to become a trusted member, then you will get access to the Kre8ors Network, and you will get a trust set up, and you'll get moved into the project planning stage. If you decide to become a trusted member, once you pay the fee, you will go into a queue for us to send you an email that will have a PDF attached to it that will be the trust setup details. And there will be instructions on that for where to send it, and there will also be the information for you to set up an interview with Tank to become a part of the Kre8ors Network. And once you have the interview with Tank, you will have access to the Kre8ors Network, which is where you're at now, where you can start going around and finding out where you best fit into the network. Now, if you don't find anybody that's really doing anything near your idea, and you would like to submit for project funding for your own project, there are instructions in here, including on this page, where you would get in touch with Anitra, and she is the project director, and she will help you work through the project planning stages. Now, when funding does come in, although you can submit for project funding without becoming a trusted member, the people who, the projects that will get priority are the ones that have progressed through the project planning stages and that have budgets and know what they need and what needs to be done to make those happen. And they will be the ones that get the funding that then will be distributed to the people that are working for their project. So if you don't really know how to plan all that, the best thing that you could do is get involved with another project to start with, so that when those funds do become available, you already have something to do. And as you work with other projects, you will develop your own project if you have a different idea, and then you can submit and start planning for those projects and eventually become the leader. The whole idea is that this is a starting point, but everybody involved in this will have access to the funds that will create the abundance and the freedom that you're wanting. It's just got to be a different mentality than you've had before. So a couple of things that we've set up right now, kind of to get you started figuring out where things are and to give you something to put your attention on as you come into the network, is right on this page underneath here. There's two lists. There's the project submitted list, and then there's the approved vendors. Now on the project submitted list, this shows everybody who is a part of the Kre8ors Network that has started the project planning stages, where we've created a template and are working with Anitra and have created a project group. So if you go to that list, you can look through very quickly at a scan what projects are actually being worked on right now and being organized, and you can go become a part of their group, start collaborating, and become a part of the discussion and find where you might be able to fit in with them. And if you don't see anything in there that is along the lines of what you want to do, that's why you would connect with Anitra and start that project planning stages. Now, as things change, we're going to be updating this video. This was just a rough one. I was trying to get up real quick to try to give you guys something to know where to go and where to put your energy, because I know you're all raring to go. We're all raring to go, but we want to get something happening before there's funding.